מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה ליי 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 ליי. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה ליי 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 ליי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
So it's in these most unusual times that I want to welcome you to this most unusual Shavuot series of family activities. Ordinarily here at TBI on Erev Chag we have 100 or 150 families, their friends and members of our community getting together to learn, to do, to taste, to see, to smell, to experience all the beauty of our tradition. But as we all know so well, the ability to be able to physically do that, to be in the space together, is not quite where we wanted to be yet. We've come so far in the 7 weeks since Pesach, but unfortunately there is still some ways for us still to go. But it's really wonderful that we're able to join together as a community. I know there are just a few screens that have chosen to be with us here live within Zoom, but I can assure you that there are many more screens that have chosen to say, we don't want to be on camera, but we want to see what's happening. And they're watching us through the streaming of our family activities on YouTube. And Nina, I have to thank you, or thank your mum for making you, for being one of our younger members of our congregation who's going to be here helping us do things. But we're going to be learning a little bit about Shavuot, doing a little bit of a refresh about what the holiday is, singing some songs, and also doing what we love to do on all our Jewish holidays, which is, of course, to eat. But in order to eat, we have to do some cooking. So I know that I've sent out to those of you that are joining us some ingredients to join us in a cooking activity we're going to do a little later. But I'm very aware that there are people on Facebook and on YouTube that don't know what we're talking about. So if you want to cook with us a little later, now's a great time for you to go into the kitchen to see if you can find a Ziploc bag, just a sandwich bag, or perhaps a even larger Ziploc bag. Well, I'll put those in front of me. There, Nina's demonstrating beautifully. A small Ziploc bag and a large Ziploc bag, or you can use 2 large Ziploc bags. We need a little bit of salt. We need a little bit of sugar. Doesn't really matter which type of sugar you choose to have. Some milk, some ice, and if you're lucky, a little bit of vanilla, just to make your ice cream taste awesome. Those are the things that we're going to need. Just to remind you, a couple of bags, some ice, quite a bit of ice, some sugar, some salt, some vanilla, and some milk. And we're going to do some cooking a little later. But having given thanks for being here and being in this Chag HaBikurim, this Chag of first fruits, this Chag where we remember the giving of Torah, Matan Torah, this Chag HaKatzir, this harvest festival, as well as this Chag of ingathering. It's a wonderful time for us to be together. It all started with that beautiful rendition of Hinei Ma Tovu Manayim, and now we want to just take a moment to refresh for ourselves and our friends what this holiday is all about. And we're going to do that by switching to just a short video from some friends of mine at an organization called Bimbam, a wonderful introduction into the holiday of Shavuot.
Shavuot, or as your grandpa says, Shavuos, is the biggest Jewish holiday you've never heard of. And if you have heard of it, great. We don't need to hear about it in the comments. It's one of the 3 major pilgrimage festivals when Israelites schlepped to the temple to give offerings. In the Torah, it says to have a holiday 7 weeks after Passover, although it's less specific about all the details of what to do on it, apart from offering the first fruits of your wheat harvest, which feels not so relevant. The rabbis long ago picked this day to also celebrate Matan Torah, God giving the Torah to the people at Mount Sinai, a real peak experience. Passover is known for the Seders, Sukkot is known for eating in sukkahs, Shavuot, if you know it at all, which you probably don't, is starting to attract some real love for all-nighters called Tikkun Leil Shavuot. These all-night study sessions happen all over the world, and they're a great way to check out the Jewish scene where you live, because you get to have free-form conversations in a less formal setting than services. At some places, Tikkun goers keep it traditional, looking at the book of Ruth to talk about committing to the Jewish people, the wild throne vision from the book of Ezekiel to talk about Revelation, and of course, the text of the 10 Commandments. Other places bring Torah into hot-button social debates, or bring in the arts and culture crowd with Jewish film screenings, cheese tastings, and yoga at dawn. Not for me, but other people like yoga. The origins are Kabbalistic. It's told that the ancient Israelites overslept when the Torah was given, so we stay awake to show our eagerness to receive the Torah all over again. Receiving the Torah, that phrase. It's not just about Moses and the physical 10 Commandments up on Sinai. It's about how we absorb all the Jewish teachings we learn. By the way, receiving Torah doesn't mean the same thing to everyone. Check out these 2 classic Jewish stories. In one, God uprooted Mount Sinai and held it over the people's heads like a barrel, saying, "Accept the Torah or else." So they accepted. Some choice. Another says that God went from nation to nation offering them the Torah, but each of them rejected it until finally the Jewish people said, "Yeah, okay, na'aseh v'nishma, we will do, we will listen." This is part of the gist of the phrase chosen people, by the way. Of all of the people in the world, the Jews agreed to receive the Torah. Shavuot has other traditions besides the Tikkun, like decorating your home with greenery and flowers, because a midrash tells that Mount Sinai suddenly bloomed when the Torah was given. Since this 2-day holiday also commemorates the bringing of the first fruits of the harvest to Jerusalem, it's a great time to grab friends for a picnic or a garden party. It's common in Ashkenazi communities to eat a lot of dairy. Make sure to take those digestive aids. Perhaps this is to remember that the Torah is as sweet as honey and milk. In Sephardic homes, they'll go for a large meat meal later on because meat. Because the holiday is about receiving Torah, it's a time for young children to bake alphabet-shaped cookies, older kids to start to learn Hebrew letters, and in some communities for teenagers, they celebrate confirmation. It's taught that when the Torah was received, everyone heard it in their own language and according to their ability to understand. And that's still true today. Judaism puts great importance on mitzvahs like honoring parents, visiting the sick, and welcoming guests. But Talmud Torah keneged kulam, Torah study is equal to them all. Shavuot is an invitation for Jewish people to stand together in solidarity at the mountain, each according to who we are. It's an invitation to create a plan for continued learning and spiritual growth. While on all other nights it's better to give than to receive, on this night, it's all about receiving that Torah.
All about receiving and receiving that Torah. And that is such a large part of what Shavuot is about. It's about receiving Torah, receiving traditions. And you saw from my friend Jason a lot of explanations of the different origins of where this holiday comes from and the different practices. But the one that has become so common, and usually at TBI we have the annual cheesecake competition, is our celebration of dairy. And in order for us to transition into our celebration of dairy, we're going to roll up our sleeves and get ready to celebrate some dairy. And you can see I've changed my background because it's time to bring us into the synagogue. Synagogue's looking a little different these days. It's pretty empty. But thankfully, through the wonders of technology, you can all join us. And I'm going to get serious, as I like to do around these holidays, and take off my jacket and put on my apron. Because it's time for us to at least begin our celebration of Shavuot by making sure that we are ready for this dairy holiday. So I can see that there's some friends who are still trying to join us. I don't know why they're sitting in the waiting room. I've welcomed them in. But I know that there are that Nina, you've showed me you've got these different things in your hand. So I'm going to ask you to get the largest of your two bags, Nina. And if there are others there, if Eric and Gerda, you want to be baking with us, you're welcome to. I think Judy just wandered off into her kitchen to go grab her bag. We're going to take our largest of our bags, and into our large bag, we are first going to place a few handfuls of ice. Or if you've got two ice trays, I'd say one tray. You get a nice base of ice. Now, as well as being a beautiful way to celebrate a Jewish holiday, this is also a little bit of a science experiment. Because you might not know, but ice helps make, or salt makes ice get colder. I'll let people in the various comments on the various places explain to you why ice helps make things go colder, but I'll just trust. And I'm going to ask my friend Ido to wander over this way, because we're actually in the same room, because there's someone who would like to be admitted into our Zoom who I can't currently reach. They just disappeared, but they might come back. So we've added in 2, 3. It doesn't actually matter how much salt you put in. I'm going to go with 4 teaspoons of salt that I've added in to my bag of ice. And then once I have done that, I'm going to put my salt down. I'm going to take my bag of ice, and I'm just going to, I can even, to make sure that it doesn't spill, I'm going to seal it just quickly and put it over there on the side. And then I'm going to turn to my second bag. Nina, you're very good at displaying things. That is your second bag, a perfect little helper. That's demonstrating all of these things so beautifully. And into this second bag, I am going to pour very carefully a cup of milk. 1 cup of milk. I'm going to put it into this mixing cup first. And this is full cream milk. It's only on Shavuot that we see this in my life. Full cream milk with all that flavor and fat that the cow gifted us with. And into that cup of milk, I'm going to add just a little bit, a teaspoon of vanilla, because that's how our ice cream gets its flavor. We add in a teaspoon of vanilla, and I mix it around a little. Now, I don't know about you, but I particularly like my ice cream being sweet. I like it being sweet, but not too sweet. And so the recipe that we are using today calls for us to put a tablespoon of sugar. A tablespoon of sugar into our mix. And I'm going to continue to mix that in my little cup that I've got over here. I can put it up in the top so everyone can see. So far that's a cup of milk and a teaspoon of vanilla essence. And now I'm adding a tablespoon, or in my case, 2 heaped teaspoons of sugar. And then I'm giving all of that a very quick stir. A very quick stir all the way around. Smells. Ido, come join me here. Yeah. Keeping distance. Arms reach away. Does that smell like ice cream?
Oh, yeah.
That smells like ice cream. So we're taking our milk, our vanilla, and our sugar, and we're pouring it. This is where you're very lucky if you've got a friend with whom you've been social distancing, because they can help hold the bag open. Ida and I have been working together for the last 8 weeks through this difficult time, but doing so in such a way where we make sure that each other stay healthy by keeping our distance. And then I'm sealing this bag. You want to try again with that? See if we can try one more time. But when I seal this bag, I want to try get the air out of it. So I'm just pushing it down a little and then sealing the bag. And then I'm taking my bag with my ice cream mix. I'm placing it into my bag with my ice. I happen to have a lot of spare ice. You might not necessarily have so much ice at home, but I'm going to add a little bit more ice into this bag. And because I am a very big fan of science, I'm going to add a pinch or two of sugar to give it a little bit of an extra bit of a go. And then I'm going to seal it all up. Now, I don't have the luxury of being in my kitchen right now. I have the privilege of being in our sanctuary. So I'm going to make sure that this is doubly sealed, because the last thing we want is this spilling all over the beautiful carpet in our shul. And I am going to do the next important part of Shavuot, at least the next important part of making ice cream on Shavuot, which is to start shaking. And we're going to keep shaking for a while. For about 10 minutes, we're going to shake and we're going to move around. If you are lucky enough to be at home and be close to an oven where you might have some oven mitts, putting on oven mitts to do the shaking is going to make it a whole lot more comfortable. Putting on some thermal gloves, that'll make that shaking a whole lot more comfortable. But while we keep shaking, I'm going to ask Ido to take back over there, to turn on his computer, his microphone, and he is going to take us into a song about this. Well, it's about milk, and it's about sweet milk. At least it's about milk and honey, and it's a beautiful song for us to sing on Shavuot. Ido, why don't you take a seat and teach our friends a little of the song and how to join in.
All right. So, one of my favorite Shavuot songs is very, very simple. And I'm going to share my screen so you can see the words. I've got the words printed out in Hebrew and also transliteration so we can all see them. And there we go. So this song is called Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash, and luckily it's simple enough that the name of the song includes all the words in the song. So it's pretty straightforward. It's not that complicated. There are two parts to the song. They both have pretty much the same rhythm, and they share the same words. It's just that the melody is a little different. And a big part of this song is not only singing it, but clapping to the song. So there's very particular claps. So I'm going to sing it through one time, and then I'm going to break it down. It goes like this. Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udevash. 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 So that's the whole thing. So right now I was playing on my guitar, so I couldn't do the claps just because I wanted you to hear what it sounds like. But with the claps, it goes like this. Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udevash. Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udevash. So that's the whole thing. That's the first part. And then the second part, it's just the melody that changes a little bit. So the second part goes like this. Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udevash. Eretz Oops, messed up the lyrics. Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udevash. Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udevash. So as Gersh is shaking that ice cream over there and making sure that we got some delicious ice cream in the making, we're singing about a land of milk and honey. And right now I feel like I'm in the land of milk and honey, even though this particular song is referring to Israel as a land of milk and honey. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to sing one part by myself, and then at home, if you feel like it, I would love for you to just sing with me and clap with me. All right? You ready? I'm going to go first. 1, 2, 3, and Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udevash. Now we're all going to sing that same part together. You ready? 1, 2, 3, and Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udevash. Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udevash. Awesome. Now we're going to the second part. I'm going to sing it one time by myself. For you to join in. It goes like this. Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udevash. Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udevash. I'm going to sing that one more time. Feel free to join in. 1, 2, 3, and Eretz zavat chalav. Clap, clap. Chalav udevash. Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udevash. So I think by now you got all the claps down. Now I'm going to use my hands to play my guitar. I'm going to count on you to do the clapping, and I'm not going to stop. So we're just going to go from start to end. I'm probably going to sing it 2 or 3 times through, and yeah, I'm just going to play my guitar. You guys ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udevash. 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 That's it. That's the whole thing. And yeah, super simple, easy, fun song. And how's that ice cream going on over there, Gersh?
Well, it's funny you should ask.
Yeah.
Why don't you stop sharing your screen?
Yeah.
And I'll get to be able to welcome everyone back. I can see that some people were smarter than me and found gloves. But for the gloves that you have, I promise I have more ice. And this is not some wondrous magic of modern technology. This is just Ido singing a song, and my milk and my vanilla has turned into ice cream. And so that this isn't just a land of milk and honey. This, my friends, is a holiday filled with sweet dairy goodness. You'll know when your ice cream's finished and ready because it'll look like that. But you might need to keep shaking. But while you're shaking, we're going to keep our study and our celebration of Shavuot by recognizing that this holiday is also not just about land and the harvest, but also about the receiving of Torah and the gifting of Torah to the Jewish people. It is known as Chag Matan Toratenu, the festival when we were gifted Torah. And on this holiday, as well as reading stories like the Book of Ruth and doing all the decorations that we do usually in the synagogue and the activities, we also read the 10 Commandments and remember that it was on Sinai that God gave Torah to the Jewish people. Ido?
Torah, 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 ציווה לנו משה. Torah, 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 ציווה לנו משה. Torah, 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 ציווה לנו משה. Torah, 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 Torah. תורה, תורה, ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה.
And so on Shavuot, we sing about Torah, we learn about Torah, and we read these, the 10 commandments. Tomorrow morning in Shul, we'll rise as a community, those in the room as well as those joining us online, to share these important 10 reminders. Anochi Adonai Elohecha, asher hotzitecha me'eretz Mitzrayim. I am the eternal God who led you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Lo yeh lecha Elohim acharim al panai. You shall have no other gods besides me. Lo tisa et shem Adonai Elohecha lashav. You shall not swear falsely by the name of Adonai your God. Zachor et yom hashabbat lekadsho. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Kabed et avicha ve'et imecha. Honor your father and mother. Lo titzach. You shall not murder. Lo tinaf, you shall not commit adultery. Lo tignov, you shall not steal. Lo ta'aneh b'ra'echa ad shaker, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. V'lo tachmod, you shall not covet. 10 extraordinarily important lessons. Lessons that we are reminded of. But Shavuot's not just about these lessons, but all the incredible lessons that we are given through our tradition and that we are given through the holiday of Shavuot. And these are things that we celebrate and we remind ourselves of and we sing together about.
All right. Here's another really good Shavuot song. This song I remember this song from my childhood, yeah, I don't know how well known it is, but it's really good. There's quite a few words to it, so I'm going to start singing it slowly. There are 3 parts. I'm going to start singing only the first part. It goes like this. Salenu al ktefenu ראשינו עטורים מקצות הארץ בנו הבאנו ביקורים. That's the first part, all right? I'm going to sing that one more time, and then I'm going to go into the second and third part because they're a little bit shorter. 1, 2, 3, and סלנו על כתפינו ראשינו עטורים מקצות הארץ בנו הבאנו ביקורים מיהודה ומשומרון מן העמק והגליל פנו דרך לנו ביקורים איתנו אך בטוב חלל וחליל אך בטוב חלל וחליל. Awesome. Now I'm going to sing through the whole thing. And for that last part, when I go, hach batov, basically this line is about hitting a drum. So if you feel like clapping or hitting something, feel free, go for it. 1, 2, 3, and סלנו על כתפינו ראשינו עטורים מקצות הארץ בנו הבאנו ביקורים מיהודה ומשומרון מן העמק והגליל פנו דרך לנו ביקורים איתנו אך בטוב חלל וחליל אך בטוב חלל וחליל. One last time. סלנו על כתפינו ראשינו עטורים מקצות הארץ בנו הבאנו ביקורים מיהודה משומרון מן העמק והגליל פנו דרך לנו ביקורים איתנו אך בטוב חלל וחליל אך בטוב חלל וחליל.
I was just over there eating my ice cream. How's your ice cream coming along? I can see two of you at least have been shaking really hard. I got a thumbs up, I got a thumbs down. Oh, it really is a matter of how much ice you have available. Mine's melted a little, but it certainly is tasty. And if it was nice to me, he might get some ice cream before he gets to go home today. But my friends, I wanted to thank you all for joining us for this fun family entry into Shavuot. We've got so much ahead of us still throughout the Chag, throughout the holiday. We have this evening at 6:15, we're continuing with our daily daven. Got an opportunity for B'nai Mitzvah and adjacent students to gather later in the day if they wish for some cooking. We have an incredible I-Sinai program, a Tikkun Leil Shavuot, that's beginning at 6:45 and running right through the evening, curated and hosted by our own Rabbi Kim Ettlinger with rabbis from across the union and the region. It really is a lot to celebrate today. And then again, we do it again first thing in the morning. Idor and I will be back at 9:30 with a Shavuot edition of our Bubs and Bagels, bringing it down even lower, making it even more inclusive as we reach out to the youngest members of our community. But right now, we want to thank those of you joining us in this Zoom, as well as thanking those of you who are joining us either through the live streaming of this family activity or who will be enjoying it at some point afterwards. If you are watching it on delay, please make some ice cream and send us a photo of your ice cream so we can share those photos on our social media and find more ways to connect even while we are apart. I'm going to wish each and every one of you, both present and those virtually present, a Chag Shavuot Sameach. May it be a time of joy, of health, of blessing and prosperity for all of us. We're going to finish just as we started with the words of the 117th Psalm that say how good it is, in fact, how pleasant, how awesome it is when brothers, sisters, family and friends can be together, and how much even better it is when we have a spoon and ice cream to enjoy it. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, 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 שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
My friends, before we say Chag Sameach and Laila Tov, I've just shared with you tbi.org.au. It is the home not only of our virtual synagogue, but also the home to so much of what it is that we're doing at this time. Our virtual synagogue, our virtual classroom, our virtual community. But there are ways through the button there, through Staying Connected, where you can find out more about our Shavuot offerings throughout the next 24 hours, and also particularly our Tikkun Leil Shavuot this evening. And if you are taken by a re-engagement with Jewish learning, as I suggested in my email to the community today, there is also a wonderful program of learning coming available beginning in 2 weeks' time from our Melton School for Adult Jewish Education. And you can click on that button and learn all about it. Classes taught by Rabbi Fred Morgan, by Dr. Simon Holloway, by Rabbi Kim Ettlinger, Michelle Lalum, and myself. Really a wonderful opportunity to learn, to share, and to grow together. That's really what this festival is about. Learning, sharing, and growing together. And we want to wish all of you a Chag Shavuot Sameach. As we say goodbye first to those that are on the live stream.